Well, hello lovelies. As promised, I am back once again with 5 new ways to get your lunch on as you head back to work and back to school. I've got 5 delicious meal prep ideas today that are perfect to be made ahead of time and stored in the fridge until you are ready to eat. As promised, I have compiled all of this tastiness into a single downloadable PDF that you can find on my website. I will link it in the description box below so you can take a look for it and download it for free. And without further ado, let's get to our first tasty meal prep of the day, my peach and prosciutto salad. As most of you know, I am not a huge salad fan, but I will make an exception for this box because it is incredibly delicious and boasts a lot of my favorite tastes of summer. So for this box, I'm gonna get started by mixing up a really simple balsamic vinaigrette. To do that, I've got some olive oil in my bowl and I'm going to add some balsamic vinegar to that, a little bit of honey, some Dijon mustard, some salt and pepper, and that's it. All you need to do is give it a whisk and we can set it aside while we construct our salad. Now I am using some mixed greens in this box, but of course you could always use some kale or some baby spinach instead. All of those are great options. And then I am going to pile in some chopped peaches. Now, for whatever reason, this summer I have not been able to get enough of peaches, so I'm really going for it here. I'm also going to add some prosciutto. Now, if you're not familiar with prosciutto, it's basically an Italian cured ham that really goes nicely with peaches. Now, if you're not a fan of pork, that's totally fine. Some chicken breast or some turkey breast would also work in this dish. Finally, I'm going to add some fresh mozzarella cheese that I've just chopped up. I know this may sound like a strange combination, but do not knock it until you've tried it. Come on, guys, have you not learned to trust me by now? I'll nestle my little dish of balsamic vinaigrette right in on the side, and you can dress this salad right before enjoying it. What I love about a salad like this is that it eats like a meal. It will leave you feeling nice and full and satisfied, at least until your 3 p.m. snack. Next up, I've got a great meatless option for you vegetarians out there, or even if you practice Meatless Monday, this is always a good option. It's my sesame tofu, and it's super tasty. I'm going to get started by mixing up just a little sauce for my tofu with some soy sauce, some rice vinegar, and some honey. Such a well-balanced sauce because of course it's tart, sweet, and savory, which are 3 of my very favorite things. Then I'm going to cook up my tofu. So I've got some sesame oil heating up in a skillet. You want to make sure that sesame oil is nice and hot before you add your extra firm tofu to your pan. I'm going to cook my tofu on both sides until it is nice and crisp and golden. And then I'll go ahead and add my sauce to the pan. I'm going to let the sauce reduce down until it's nice and syrupy and has coated that tofu and everything's nicely flavored. And then it's just a matter of topping my tofu with some sesame seeds. Now that my tofu is prepared, I'm going to turn my attention to my greens for this meal prep. And in this case, I am actually going to be cooking up some bok choy. Now, if you're not familiar with bok choy, it's a really tasty but slightly bitter green. If you're not into bok choy, you could also do this with some kale if you wanted to, or even some broccoli. Both would work really well and you can use the exact same method. So I've got some sesame oil heating up in a skillet over medium-high heat. I'm just going to add some garlic and some ginger. Once that's started to heat through, I'm just going to nestle my bok choy in, cut side down, add a little splash of water, and pop the lid on this guy. The idea here is that we'll use that water to steam our bok choy and help it get a little more tender. To build our box, we are going to start with a layer of cooked rice. Then we are going to pile in our steamed bok choy and finish it off with our sesame tofu. So simple, but so tasty that even carnivores would approve. Speaking of carnivores, if meat is your thing, then you might love this piri chicken recipe that I'm going to show you next. We're gonna start by making our very own homemade piri sauce. Now, of course, you could always buy the store-bought kind, but why would you do that when you could make your very own at home? And all it takes is a food processor and a little bit of love. In my food processor, I am combining some red bell pepper, some onion, and some red chili peppers that I've chopped up. Now, piri sauce can be a little bit spicy. If you want to reduce the spice in this recipe, go ahead and remove the membranes and the seeds from your chili peppers. That is where a lot of the heat lives. For even more great flavor, I'll fire some garlic into my food processor with some smoked paprika, some dried oregano, some salt and pepper, and the zest and juice of 1 lemon. Then I'll pop the lid on my food processor and let it blend away. If you feel like the mixture is a little too thick, not to worry, you can go ahead and add a good splash of olive oil to this, 1 tablespoon at a time until it reaches your desired consistency. And when it's done, it is saucy goodness that is just ready to marinate your chicken. Now, if you've got the time, the best way to maximize flavor here is to actually marinate your chicken breast in the peri-peri sauce for as long as you have. I'm going to do it for an hour in the refrigerator, but of course, overnight in this case is definitely ideal. When it comes time for cooking, I like to just lay my chicken out on a baking sheet. I'm also adding a touch of salt and pepper, and I'm just going to get it into the oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit until it reaches an internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit on a meat thermometer. That is how you know it's cooked. As a yummy complement to our chicken in this meal prep, I am also going to be cooking up some corn on the cob. So I've got 1 corn on the cob, I've cut it in 2, and I am going to brush on some melted butter. Then I will add some smoked paprika to this, some dried parsley, a little sprinkle of cayenne. If you're into the heat, you can always leave it out if you're not, and some salt and pepper. For a little additional freshness, I'll also hit this with a little bit of lemon zest and juice, and then get this into the oven with my chicken. I'll cook my corn for between 10 and 20 minutes, just until it turns bright yellow and is nice and tender and ready to be enjoyed. To construct my meal prep, I like keeping things simple with just a little bit of green leaf lettuce, my corn, and my sliced chicken. I like serving it with a few lime wedges, and there you go. I'd say this is ready to be cobbled right up. Next, guys, I have got a Moroccan-inspired meal prep with some delicious white fish and couscous. I'm gonna start by mixing up a Moroccan-inspired spice blend with some ground ginger, some coriander, some turmeric, some cinnamon, some allspice, and some salt and pepper. So what I love about this is that it's gonna be a little sweet and a little spiced, really, really nicely balanced. I'll give that a whisk until it is well combined, and then we will get to work on preparing our white fish. Now for this recipe, I am using some tilapia, but of course any white fish you like will do. I'm going to sprinkle on a little bit of my Moroccan seasoning and get this into the oven at 375 degrees for about 10 minutes or until it flakes easily with a fork. The great part about white fish is that it actually cooks quite quickly, so it's really great for meal prep. Once my fish is ready, I will set it aside and get to work on mixing up my delicious couscous, which has so many beautiful ingredients in it. If you're not familiar, couscous is actually a type of pasta. Some people think it's a grain, but it isn't. It's actually just pasta, but very, very teeny tiny little balls of pasta. Once I've got my couscous cooked and cooled, I'm gonna go ahead and add some chickpeas to this. I'm using canned chickpeas that have been rinsed and drained. Next, I've got some raisins and some pomegranate arrows headed into my bowl for a little sweetness, and some almonds for some good crunch. For some freshness, I'm adding some freshly chopped parsley and some mint, and a good helping of my Moroccan seasoning. Now for the liquid in this recipe, I'm actually going to be using some freshly squeezed orange juice. Again, nice and sweet, but also a little bit tart. Such a perfect complement to all of the flavors already happening in here. I'll just give this a toss until it is well combined, and then we can get to work on setting up our meal prep box. As a base in this box, I am using some finely chopped kale. Of course, spinach or mixed greens will also do if you are a kale hater, not to worry. Then I will load in my couscous salad and top it with my cooked tilapia. This is such a good recipe if you were looking for something a little different than the same old, same old. It's unique and a bit exotic, but also really tasty. Finally, lovelies, we are making a steak and green bean salad that is a total winner. I'm gonna start by mixing up a really simple dressing for this salad. It starts with some olive oil in my bowl. To that, I've got some red wine vinegar headed in here, some Dijon mustard, a little bit of prepared horseradish, which is one of my favorite things to complement the flavor of steak. I'm also going to add some finely chopped shallot to this, some salt and pepper, and it's as simple as that. We'll whisk it all up and set it aside while we get to work on cooking our steak. I've got a skillet on the stove, nice and hot. It's really important when you're cooking steak to make sure that your skillet or your grill is super hot. Now in this case, I am using a New York strip loin, but of course a sirloin would work just as well here. I like to season my steak up simply with some salt and some pepper, and that is it. The idea, of course, is that we want to create a nice crust on the outside of our steak while keeping the inside medium rare or medium, depending on how you like your steak. I'm gonna pop my steak into my grill for about 3 minutes per side. That is my optimal temperature. Again, cook your steak however you like. Then we'll remove it from the grill and let it sit for at least 5 to 10 minutes before we slice it up. If you're looking for more great tips on how to grill the perfect steak, I happen to have a video for that. I will link it in the description box below and you can take a look at it for yourself to make sure that you are getting your steak right each and every time. While my steak is resting, I'll just go ahead and steam up some green beans. This only takes a few minutes in a steamer basket like this. Once my green beans are nice and bright green, I'm going to chill them in an ice bath. That helps stop the cooking entirely so that they stay a bit crisp and beautiful. And then we can go ahead and construct our lunchbox. I'm starting with some arugula as the base for this, but of course you could always use any green you like here. Next, I'll pile in my green beans, my sliced steak, and I'm going to add a little bit of crumbled goat cheese to this. If you're a blue cheese lover, crumbled blue cheese would also be really good here. I'll nestle in my dressing, and this is ready to be devoured. Now, I always enjoy this salad cold right out of the fridge, but if you did want to reheat your steak before enjoying, just separate it from the rest of the ingredients and go ahead and do that. Totally up to you. This meal prep is unmistakably delicious. Don't believe me? Try it for yourself. In fact, I hope you will give all 5 of these awesome ideas a try and that they inspire you to step up your lunch game this season. If you do, be sure to tweet me, Instagram me, or Snapchat me a photo because I always love seeing your kitchen creations. Don't forget, I have compiled all of this tastiness, 30 meal prep ideas, into one single handy dandy downloadable PDF that you can find on my website. I will link it in the description box below. And finally, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell because there is lots more meal prep deliciousness where this came from.